Hello peeps, thanks for the harassment and constant requests. Chris has finally done it. We're going to be looking at Shepherd of Fire today by Avenged Sevenfold. Let's take a look. Before we get too excited, we just need to talk about the tuning for the song, which is your standard Avenged Sevenfold drop D, which is D, A, D, G, B, E. So get yourself a tune and we'll get started. Alright guys, let's take a look at the first section. I want to start with a big bend on 15 of the first string. Now that's going to go up a full tone, which essentially we want to make 15 sound like 17. Then I want to bend it back a semitone. It's a bit gross, and then bend it back up to that full tone bend that we originally had. After that, I go into this little phrase here, which is basically around a D minor pentatonic. I've seen some people play it in that area, but I just found that when I was listening to it and trying to get the phrasing right, it sounded more like a pull-off, so that works better for me. So what I'm doing here is a pull-off from 13 to 10 of the first string, jump into 13 of the second string, and then back down to 10 of the first. Hopefully that's all making sense. Moving on, let's start this little sweep here. So what I'm doing here is playing 14 of the third, 15 of the second, and then doing a hammer on from 13 to 16 on the first string. Okay? After that I work into this phrase, which is a very similar idea all the way through. Let's have a look at the first chunk. I'm going to do a pull off from 17 to 13 and actually repeat that idea. So we'll do that twice. Then jump to 15 of the second and back down to 13 of the first. Now we're going to do the same idea with two pull-offs from 16 to 13 and then jump to 15 of the second and back down to 13 of the first. So it's the same idea, just a fret back. So back to back. And the last group, I just want to do two pull-offs from 15 to 13. So all together, let's put the sweep in front of it now. Alright, let's take it right from the start of the section and then we'll do the last bit. Hopefully that's all making sense. Now let's have a look at the next part. What I'm doing here is basically working around a B flat major arpeggio. So I'm starting off with two pull-offs from 13 to 10 on the first string, and I just sweep up, which is playing 11 of the second, 10 of the third, and then I work my way back. So I go, so I went back to 11 and then back to 10 of the first. Okay, now the start of the next group, I've got two pull-offs from 12 to 10, and then I just finish off that arpeggio. So it's kind of, I guess, a flat 5-y thing, I guess. Okay, at the end of that, so I did the two pull-offs, played 11 of the second, 10 of the third, and then I want to end on 13 of the third. So this is a very sort of grosser note here. That's around the sort of evil flat 5 of the pentatonic circus. So from this part, we'll go from the 13-10 nice and slow, and then finish those arpeggios and end on that gross note, and then we'll try the whole thing. Let's try it one more time from the top, and then we'll do it again slowly with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. let's take a look at the second section. It's pretty bluesy, so keep in mind that we're going to be working around the D minor pentatonic. I'm going to start off with a bend on 13 of the second string, and then bring that back down and pull off to 10. After that, I'm going to pull off 12 to 10 of the third. Okay, and I'm going to do exactly the same idea from the third to the fourth string. So to go over that a little bit slower, I'm bending 13 of the third string, up and back and pulling off to the 10, and then doing a pull off from 12 to 10 on the fourth. So all together. Okay, now timing wise this next section is the same, but the shapes are a little bit different and the bend itself is a little bit bigger. So what I'm doing here is I'm bending 15 to basically sound like 18, so we're going a tone and a half here. Bending that up and back and pulling off to 13, and then pulling off from 14 to 13 on the third string. So all three chunks back to back now. Okay, at the end of that, I go. So I do sort of like what I had at the start, bending it up, bringing it back a little, and then bending it back up again, and just giving it a bit of vibrato. Alright, let's try the whole section from the start relatively slowly, and then we'll try it again with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Okay, so this third section we've got some trem at the start and some pretty ridiculous string skippy stuff in the middle, so be nice and patient with it. With this initial phrase, I want to learn it as a single note phrase, and then we're going to add the tremolo picking later. So what I want to do is play 18, 15, 17, 18 on the second string. Okay, now I'm going to jump to 17 of the third, 18 of the fourth, 17 of the third again. Back to back. Okay, now at the end of that I go. So I'm going to trem, eventually playing 15, 17 on the fourth, and then that last vibrato note we cut the trem out. So let's put it all together. Alright, let's try it again. Now when we're tremolo picking, it's quite challenging to say. We're sort of just playing as fast and accurately as possible, but if you're going to be practicing it slowly, I want you to get into the habit of trying to pick 4 notes per one of those that we had before. So we're going to go. Okay, so hopefully that's making sense. Let's move on to the next chunk. Keep in mind that we've got a drop D now, so we've got 2 Ds lined up. So some of the shapes might look a little bit unconventional, but it's because we're dealing with a bit of an odd tuning. You can see. So what I want to do is start off with a hammer on from 10 to 12 to 15 on the 6th string, and I jump 10, 12, 15 on the 4th string, that's right. It's just the same shape with the string skip. I'm going to skip again, I'm going to jump to the 2nd string and do a hammer on into a pull off, 10, 13, back to 10 on the 2nd string, and then I hit 10 of the 3rd. So all together. Okay, then I move into the next chunk. Hopefully that's making sense. I want to play 10, 12, 15 again as a hammer on, but this time I'm playing that on the 5th string. Okay, then I play 10, 12, 14 on the 3rd. So you just got to shuffle that pinky back. Okay, now the last chunk. This is a bit redonk. I want to do a hammer on from 10 to 15 and then pull off 13, 10 on the 1st string, and then play 11 of the 2nd string. Let's try both of those string skipped ideas back to back. Okay, and the last chunk we're going to work with is some sort of hammer-on pentatonic ideas with a bit of flat 5 action over here. So the initial part that I do is basically the same thing twice with one changed note. I'm going to do a hammer-on into a pull-off, going 10, 13, 10 on the 1st, and then I play 13 of the 2nd, and then I play 10, 15, 10 of the 1st, and then play 13 of the 2nd. So it goes. Okay, now it's a pretty similar idea up here. I'm playing 13 to 15, back to 13 is a hammer on into a pull-off, and I hit 15 of the 2nd. And then what I do here is 13 to 16, back to 13 of the 1st. 15 of the second, and then to finish that off, I'm playing 13 of the first, and then 15, 14 on the second. So it'll go. Okay, so it's a pretty massive section. Let's take it slowly, and then we'll do it one more time with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Okay, let's take a look at the fourth section. I want to start off with the slide into 11 of the fourth string. It's really subtle, and then we work into this little run. Okay, so what I'm doing here, sliding into 11 of the fourth, and then I'm playing 9, 10, 12 on the third, the second, and the first string. Okay, at the end of that, I want to hit the 12 again for a slight bend, and then when I bring it back, I just want to play 10 of the first. Okay, at the end of that I do a very similar idea from 13 up and back, and then play 12 of the first. And then I go, what I'm doing here is sliding from 17 to 12, and then I hit it again when I get there, and then I want to slide from 12 to 9, and then hit 9 again when I get there. So it'll go. Let's try it from the start of the section thus far, and then we'll add the last chunk. And the last little chunk I add is this. Love this bit. It's so fist raising and emotional. Anyway, so we're going 10, 12, 13 on the first string, and then I want to bend 13 up. So bend it up, and then I'll just bring it back down and play 13 as a regular note. So we have regular 13, bend, and then a regular 13. At the end of that, I'm playing 12, 10 with a light vibrato before the start of the next section. Alright, hopefully that's all making sense. Let's try it from the start of the section a little bit slower, and then we'll do it again with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Okay, let's take a look at the fifth section. We're going to work through these harmonized runs. I've chosen to do the higher one because I think they're pretty cool. So I want to start from 7 of the third string, and I'm going to play 7, 9, 10. And I'm going to play 8, 10, 11 on the second. Nice and diatonic and fun. And then 8, 10, 12 on the first. And it's very, very hard to sort of do the vibrato like that, so I tend to find, because we're on the first string, wrist vibrato kind of work the best for me, but you guys can fiddle with what you want to do. So we're going 7, 9, 10 on the third, 8, 10, 11 on the second, 8, 10, 12 on the first. Okay, then I work into this. So what I'm doing here is playing 9, 10, 12 on the third, 10, 11, 13 on the second, and then I play 10, 12, 13 of the first. Okay, so from the start. Okay, then I work into this kind of dime baggy pentatonic run, so I'm going like this. Let's take this slowly. I nearly do the same thing 3 times, so I want to go from 10 of the first to 13 of the second twice, and then I want to jump back down to 10 of the first. Okay, so it's going to go 10, 15, 10, 13, and then back to 10 again. So it goes all together. then from there I go. What I'm doing here is jumping my pinky up to 15 of the second string. Now we are kind of doubling up on a couple of notes here, just bear with me, it does sound awesome at full speed. We want to play 15 of the second and then do a pull off from 13 to 10 on the first. So all together. Okay, and then I want to play 13 of the second to 10 of the first. So it goes all together. Okay, and then the next part I go. Let's slow this down. I'm playing 15 of the second string and then playing 13 and pulling off to 10. And then I want to do a pull off from 12 to 10 on the third. And then what I do here is 12, pull off to 10, and then hammer back to 12 on the fourth. Sort of go. Hopefully that's all making sense. And then I roll that ring down and pull off 12 to 10 on the third. And I want to end that on the B flat on 13 of the fifth string. Sort of go. A little bit slower, and then we'll try putting the whole section together. Okay, let's go from the harmonized runs at the start of the section, and then we'll do it one more time slowly with the tabs. One more time with some tabs. Okay, nearly there guys, second last section. I want to start off with a B flat major kind of arpeggio with a flat 5. Keep in mind there is another harmony on this as well. Let's slow that down. I'm leading in from 10 of the third, playing 11 of the second and 10 of the first. And I go, let's slow that down. I'm playing 13, 12, 10 of the first. Then 11 of the second, back down to 10 of the first. And then at the end of that, you slide from 10 to 12 and give it a light vibrato when you get there. And it goes. Okay, so what I'm doing here is playing 13 of the second string, and then I'm playing 12, 13, 15, 13, 12. This one's just going forwards and back. At the end of that, I want to play 13 of the second, back down to 12 of the first. So all together thus far. And I go, I slide in and do a kind of a triplet-y thing on 14, and then I want to play 15, and then I want to play 10, 14. It's got a slight slide in between. At the end of that, I want to play 8, 10. At the end of that, I work into this phrase. Got a bit of a 90s vibe about it, I don't know why, but anyway, I'm going 7, 8, 10 of the second string, and then I go semitone bend on 10 to finish that off. Let's go from the arpeggios at the start of the section, and then we'll do it one more time slowly with some tabs. One more time with some tabs. Okay, last chunk, we're nearly there. I want to start off with a slide into 12 of the fourth, and I do a hammer on from 10 to 12 on the third, and then I just work up diatonically through the scale. So what I'm doing here, a hammer on, and then I want to play 10, 11, 13 on the second, and then I want to play 10, 12 on the first. Then when I hit 13 of the first after that, I've got a big bend. Okay, now to finish that off, so what I've got here, I want to bend back down, pull off to the 10, and then I want to play 13 of the second string. So I go. At the end of that, I'm going to play 10, 13, 15. So I go. Let's have a look at what we've got thus far from the start, and then we'll add that final bend to it. Better. Okay, and then after I get to that 15, I want to bend it up on the first string. When I get to the top of it, I want to also try and bend up to the point where I'm hitting the second string. I can bend them back down together to get that sort of weird, gross harmony. It reminds me very much of Walk by Pantera, if you know the solo well. So let's have a look at it from the start of the section, then we'll do it one more time with some tabs, and that'll be the whole thing. One more time with some tabs. And that was my lesson on Shepherd of Fire by Avenged Sevenfold. Hope you guys have enjoyed that. I'll catch you real soon.